Don't be mad. Don't you want to get married? No. No, nobody gets married for the first time at 70. No. Not unless there's a verified pension and a diagnosis. You don't get married. You just don't do it. And then I said, honey, you get married when you're young, and you have your whole life ahead of you, and you have all these dreams and aspirations, and you have somebody to share all that with, and then you grow old together, and you blame them for the shit you didn't get to do, and that's growing old. That's marriage. I said, at 70, I am not bringing much to the table. Maybe the smell of CBD oil and Altoids. That's pretty much it. They try so hard, though. They do try hard. My birthday last year, they got me a gift card for a tattoo. I'm coming to you. Now, you have beautiful tattoos on your arms and your wherever I can see. And that's your generation. And I understand that. Did you design those?
I came up with a design.
You came up with a design. You found something that could match your concept. Yeah. This gift card's for $100. So they're cheap bitches on top of that. They're driving me crazy. I haven't had it. They want me to give it back to them. I'm going to give it to the guy living down at the end of my block. Honest to God, I'm not going to give back to him. What are you going to have done? What are you going to have done? Well, I don't know what I'm going to have done. Maybe I'll have my upper lip put back on my fucking face. That went, but it's gone. It came off with the mask. And then I became an Amish man. I've never had so much facial hair in my whole life. That is not easy to pluck either. You can pluck it all you want, but honest to God, it hurts, doesn't it? Hurts like a senator. You get older, it just doesn't, and it's long. It made me question my pronouns. Tugging on that, the pliers are not cutting it. I have needle nose pliers. I stopped tugging. Because I realized every time I tugged really hard, my left breast would go up 2.5 inches. So I just started tying them off. So anyway. They want me to have, I don't want symbols. This skin's not coming back, honey. I've lost a lot of weight, and there's not a spank in the world that's gonna hold this shit up. Do you understand what I mean? So I'm just, and I don't want pictures, and I don't, I told my niece, just to make her crazy, my youngest, I'd get help me with this, tramp stamp. That's it. That's the perfect place for an older person to put their tattoos. Back here. You put your social security numbers back there. You put your blood type. In case of emergency phone number. You can put your allergies down your butt cheeks. Because there's a good chance when I wander away from the home, I'm gonna be naked. My sweet Irish niece calls me up. She goes, I know what you should have done. You have to have the Irish prayer tattooed on your body. I said, no words. There's no words going on this body. Are you kidding me? Someday somebody's gonna be putting me on a bedpan, and I don't want that conversation to start with, hey, what's your tattoo say? It says faster. Honest to God. I get away with a lot of stuff. I I do, you know, and I'm looking at my friends up here with the silver hair. You have beautiful hair. Did you guys you went gray fairly early in your life or no? See, I started going gray when I was 18. Oh, yeah, seriously, gray. My mom and dad were both salt and pepper by the time they're 25, and they're almost white by the time they're 30. So it was hereditary. And back in the 60s, gas was 23 cents, but you dye your hair at the hairdresser, it was 25. That was a lot of money. And then it was $35, then it was $45, then it was $55, then you're doing blowjobs for rich jobs. And I got bad knees, so it wasn't paying off. So, and finally, and you know, when I first doing stand-up, everybody goes, you gotta dye your hair, you're in the show business. I don't care, I get away with so much more. We get away with shit. We do. I have guys running across the parking lot to open the door for me. And if they're not running, I'm going, hey! It's amazing. It's amazing what, you know, and I forget I'm gray. Okay, this happened at the grocery store. I hate the grocery store, by the way. I used to love it. I don't like it anymore. No, you know, what we got through, the one thing you don't see at the grocery store anymore since COVID is you don't see that little cart that looks like a little car. That you put the little ADD people in. And then you just drag them by shit they can't have. Until they work themselves into such a frenzy. Prior to COVID, if I was in the aisle with those kids and they're having a meltdown, I was the next target. Always. Oh. You're a fatty, you're fatty, you're a fatty, you're fatty, you're fatty. Whoa, slow your roll, Tiger. Come on now, that's not nice. Don't say that. No. There's no Santa. Yeah, now we're both living with disappointment, aren't we? When they had all those kids, those little 14-year-old kids that they would hire, you know, to go get the carts that I put behind your SUVs, they overhire them at my store every year, and then they said, "Oh, look busy. You got to look busy." So they would wait for older people to start walking into the store, so they could just ambush us. You know, you going into the store and they're, "Hi, how are you? Find everything?" Oh my God, I'm fine. Leave me alone. I've done this before.
Yeah, I got a gay ex-husband. Do you? No? It's good. It's good. People always say to me, how did you not know? We were having a lot of sex. How the hell did I know he was fantasizing about the waiter at Olive Garden? I think the thing is, though, I have no gaydar. Because, honestly, the handwriting was on the wall. Shortly after we were married, we both agreed to give each other one free pass. Should the celebrity of our dreams want to have sex with us. He picked Cher. And I picked Bruce Jenner. Peter had opinions about my hair, my makeup, my clothes. He especially liked me in very high heels, which later I found out is a phallic symbol. So now he's gay, and I got bunions. When we were doing The Nanny, everybody said that I was a gay icon, but when Peter came out, that's when I was elevated to Judy Garland status. Needless to say, we split up, but are happily divorced. So there I was, single, ready to mingle, and as fate would have it, I get diagnosed with cancer. Can you believe it took me 2 years and 8 doctors to get a proper diagnosis with uterine cancer? I got in the stirrups more times than Django. And every doctor had a different solution for my symptoms. Leg pain, oh, drink gin and tonics before going to bed. Stool change, stop eating so much spinach. Hard breasts, you got the tits of an 18-year-old. Which I do, by the way. But there I was with perky breasts in need of roughage, going to bed sloshed in some vain attempt to cure myself. Doctor number 8 said, you need an endometrial biopsy. But doctor number 1 said I was too young for that. And I didn't ask what it's for, because I was just so thrilled to be too young for anything. 3 days later, they said I had cancer and I needed a hysterectomy. Oh my God, I can't even tell you. When I came home from the hospital, I was so depressed and so weak. I remember looking at myself in front of the mirror naked at my misshapen, swollen, black and blue abdomen, wondering, who is this woman in the reflection? I had always been everyone else's caregiver. I was the stalker. I was the superwoman. Well, it just so happens, on that day, Cousin Susan was coming for lunch. Mom prepared a beautiful spread, and we all sat around the dining room table to eat. Susan was talking a mile a minute, and suddenly, she starts choking on her food. Well, I immediately jumped to my feet, got behind her, and started doing the Heimlich maneuver. My dad, who rarely comes up for air when there's food placed in front of him, suddenly said, she's choking. And my mom, in a voice not unlike my own, says, don't rip your stitches. Every time I did the maneuver, Cousin Susan's glass of white wine, which she still had in her hand, went splashing across the room. When suddenly, miraculously, this tiny piece of regurgitated poultry pops out of her mouth and lands on the floor. Well, we all gathered around to look at it. Mom bent down with a big white napkin and picked it up and said, it's not even that big. And Cousin Susan, still gasping for breath, said, Fran, you saved my life. And I really did save her life. But in an unexpected way, on that day, Cousin Susan saved mine, because that was the moment I was beginning to feel like my old self again. Fast forward, I'm a survivor. I founded cancerschmancer.org. I'm middle-aged, I'm single, and I'm ready to date again. I find myself in bed with a younger guy. Out of the blue, the dude says to me, when did you quit smoking? And I'm thinking, that's a funny thing to say. Then it occurs to me, he's looking at my estrogen patch and thinking it's for nicotine. Now I'm wondering, what's more of a turnoff, smoking or menopause? So I say to him, it's only been 3 months and it's very hard. We had great sex, then he jumped on a skateboard and never saw him again. Oh, I'll tell you, this whole aging thing is for the birds. Yesterday, I could not remember the word asparagus. Now, when I couldn't remember a word when I was in my 40s, I would joke about it and say, I'm having a senior moment. Now it's no joke. And that's not the worst of it. All of a sudden, my rings don't fit. My shoes are tight. So my girlfriend says to me, oh, well, you know, parts of your body keep growing as you get older. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, didn't you know? Your hands, your feet, your nose, your ears, they all keep getting bigger as you age. That's sexy. Because, you know, there's a million guys out there wanting to sleep with a hobbit. Oh, I could kill Peter for turning gay. Meanwhile, neither of us have anyone. Watch, we'll end up back together. And should we ever want to have sex, we only have to hire one guy.
My husband is very smart and very quiet and an introvert and does very well, and then married me, and we've been exactly the opposite, but it has worked. He's a big man. He's 6'4". He can kick a door in, and I like that. He works like a dog. And he loves a baby. Let me tell y'all that he is a baby cuddler at East Tennessee Children's Hospital. He cuddles the drug-dependent babies every week of the world as a volunteer. I know, sweet. He didn't help me with mine. But because he was out making a living and paying for all this. We've got 2 still in college, and I wanted a 4th baby so bad. When my baby child went to kindergarten, I nearly grieved myself to death. I thought, Lord, what am I going to do with all this time on my hands? I hope I don't get hooked on whiskey and start honky-tonking. And about 3 weeks into her going to kindergarten, I was like, woohoo! Woohoo! Now I can go get a pap smear without somebody sitting on my head. But my husband, when I dropped her off, he said, meet me at the IHOP. Because he knows that pancakes get me through a hard time. And I was crying, and I said, I want another baby. And he said, why don't you get a job? Yeah, right. So I said, I want a 4th baby. And he said, y'all are sucking the financial life out of me. So he bought me a dachshund. I had that dachshund for years. She's gone now. But let me tell you, she and I both got thyroid issues. She had cushions. I was walking her in our neighborhood one day, and a little girl came out in her driveway, and she said, can I pet your groundhog? Oh, y'all. So about my husband. All right, so my husband is a big man and is 6'4". I'm 5'8". We breed big kids. And we wanted them to be in sports and when they were growing up, and so we made them do all kinds of mess they didn't want to do. And we put our boy, when he was little bitty, we put him in T-ball. He hated it. I don't know if any of y'all have had a baby play T-ball, but for those of you who don't know, T-ball season, it's about 110 degrees outside. It's little children that are 4 look like they've got a diaper on under their baseball pants or a pull-up. The games last about 3 hours. Nobody ever hits the ball, throws the ball, catches the ball, makes contact with the ball. My baby laid in a fetal position in the outfield the entire season. He never touched a ball. Every once in a while, he'd pop his little head up and say, water. One game, it was so hot, and I told the middle one to go out and take her brother a water bottle. She was about 2.5. And she went walking out there with a tutu and a crown and a wand and her pink prostitute shoes from Walmart. She walked about halfway, stopped, got a glazed look over her eyes, pulled her little panties to the side, and pooped in the T-ball fan. She really did. So I had to run out there and get a stick and flick it into the woods.
You know, I met my husband and I fell in love with him. And I'm just gonna tell you, I love my husband. I'm not embarrassed to tell you. I love that man, right? And I only tell you that because the shit I'm about to say. Just because you love someone doesn't mean you don't see them exactly who they are. Because on paper, if you set us up, we're a perfect match. I told you, I'm 100% Sicilian. He's first generation Italian boy from Brooklyn, right? We should be perfect, but we're not. Because you wanna know why? He is the nicest guy on the planet. He has the hope of a 14-year-old girl. Right? He believes everything is possible. And it is my job as a good wife to crush that spirit. You are never gonna be a 47-year-old American Idol contestant. Get that shit right out of your head. Ridiculous. On paper, we're a perfect match. Real life, not so much. Didn't matter when we were dating that he's messy and I'm clean. Crazy clean, admittedly. I have a problem, I'm OCD. I watch Hoarders and clean during commercials. Because I'm afraid a dead goat's gonna fall through the television under 22 years worth of newspapers and I will just burn the house down. That's what I will do. That's a very Italian thing to be clean. My grandmother was crazy clean. Wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, come back, your bed would be made. She'd be at you. You messy. You and the caca, so messy. Disgrazia, so mess. It's 2:30 in the morning, woman. I know, you hungry? Yeah, I could eat, whatever. We're just different in real life. It didn't matter when we were dating. Didn't matter that I have a master's degree and he has a GED. Not just a GED, he's got 2 because he sent away for an extra copy. Because it's a double major. It only matters now because we have our kid. Our son is 4 years old, right? I want to send him to preschool. My husband goes, what do you want to do that for? For that, right there. How about that? Exhibit A, huh? I gotta put a little purple beret up here? What do you want? How am I gonna stake my case? It's insane. If you find it funny, trust me and believe me that it will find you. Because when I go to sign my 4-year-old for preschool, I happen to find the one preschool in our area that not only do you have to fill out an application, you have to write an essay. To get a child into preschool, an essay. And I'm gonna tell you something. If my essay can't get my son into that preschool, I will get an essay. I will get a Mexican gang member to terrorize that school board. This 4-year-old is getting into that school. I took it way too seriously. I was a student for too long. I wanted to write this beautiful essay. I got so nervous the deadline was coming up. My husband goes, I'll write it. Yeah, no. Not only will he not get in, we'll lose custody.
Now here's the deal. As you probably know, because I'm quite famous, I recently got a divorce from my ex-husband, Jimmy Big Balls. It's okay, it's very amicable, thank God. And he also lost 98 pounds. Now, the reason I call him Jimmy Big Balls, you might not know. If you're stupid, you can't put 2 and... Okay, picture this guy's freaking head. Imagine 2 of those in a pair of Hanes tighty whities. actual size. I mean, that sack, Jesus Christ, it looked like two little midgets fighting their way out of a pink hairy parachute. I hadn't seen anything that big and hairy since I gave Snooki a pap smear. But see, this is how I know that God hates me. Even though Jimmy loses all this weight and looks great, every time he lost an ounce, it gravitated. And it migrated. And eventually settled in that beanbag chair of a sack until he had to hold it up when he took a just in case. And you know how I knew it was big? Oh, Maron, one day, he's laying in bed naked. And he goes, hey, check it out. I look, sir, his ball was resting on my side of the bed. So, you know, I try to be positive because I'm a person who projects much light and love. And it was like, oh my God, wow. At least we never have to buy throw pillows again. But you know what, folks? Since I'm telling you the truth, I will tell you this. I think that is the night that I knew the marriage was not meant to be. No, you laugh. But seeing that ball on the sheet and the other one on the nightstand. Now, like I said, I am one lucky that I do not have a nasty divorce. And part of it, I think, is that we didn't have kids. Now, black guy, are you a black? Or a half spick, half black? That would make you 6 years a slave, my friend. Look at the gay guys are getting worried. I'm like, help us. Okay, are you a black guy then? Oh, you're Jamaican. Oh, okay. No wonder this hot bitch is with you. Holy shit. How many kids you got? You got kids? You got kids, mother? You got kids? How many you got? Two. Yeah, son. How old are your kids? 4 and 10. Is this their mom? No, of course not. Why would you do it? You don't want to mess with fine traditions.
This guy, I don't know how he grew up. Like maybe they're on a budget or something. But like he come to me the other day, he's like, hey babe, can I use your toothbrush real quick? I said, what? Like, that's the option for you? Like you're thinking about it? Sick. He's like, what? It's just like kissing. We kiss at the same thing. I do not scrape off your tartar with my tongue. I mean, I know I'm pretty amazing. But I'm almost positive I cannot prevent cavities. My husband likes to leave his shoes right in the middle of a walkway. Like as soon as you open the door, boom, shoes. Now you couldn't kick them off to the side? That was hard to do. So all throughout the house, I just trip over shoes like, oi, sorry dog. Yeah. And we're still real new, so like I still try to look cute when I sleep. I'll probably grow out of that one real quick. But right now, I still try to look cute, right? But it's kind of hard because I sleep with Invisalign trays in my mouth. So sometimes when I wake up, my lip will get stuck to the plastic tray. I wake up looking like Fire Marshal Bill. Like full on, let me show you something. My face will be all greasy. That's not cute. So when I feel myself starting to wake up, like I'll fix my lip real quick. I put grease on my lip like it's glass. Make it work. Make it work. And we're pretty good with decision making, right? Like he'll come to me with stuff, I'll come to him with stuff, like teamwork, you know? But every now and then he'll try to go off and do his own thing. Like recently we just bought some curtains for the house. And I told him, I said, when you're at the store, take a picture of them and send it to me before you buy it, right? But he forgot that part. So I came home to these gaudy Armenian curtains hanging in my house that are like 2 feet too short. I got high water curtains. Like first thing my brother came over the house, he's like, why you got capri pant curtains? My husband and I travel a lot for work. He travels with music, I travel with jokes. And sometimes we'll go to like some small town, like nobody has ever heard of this town. Like these people haven't even heard of their own town. And when you fly to a small town, you have to fly on a small plane. And I went to a town recently where the plane I was on, I don't even think it had an engine. I'm pretty sure it was a paper plane. Like it just had 2 propellers out front. Like as you step onto the plane, you had to take turns spinning the propeller. Like it's The Price is Right. I checked my seat assignment, it said shotgun. They had 1 flight attendant. She was wearing regular clothes and a name tag. Like real suspicious. And I fly a lot, so I'm used to the way things work on an airplane, right? I'm used to the announcements they make, like, flight attendants, prepare for landing. I'm used to hearing that kind of stuff, right? But on this plane, we got a different announcement. It sounded more like, Stephanie, we're coming in. Stephanie. What's this, a family-owned plane? Stephanie, if you have any more of that potato salad you made for the church picnic last week, you bring it on up to the cockpit. Thank you. Potato salad.